This season, two world-class dance troupes, the Paul Taylor Dance Company and Taylor II, will be crisscrossing the Mid-Atlantic states in a performance tour funded through the Arts Connect program of the Mid-Atlantic Arts Foundation and supported by the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. Paul Taylor, the founder and artistic director of both companies, has been called America's greatest living choreographer. Now in his 80s, he continues to make new dances that wow critics and dance enthusiasts just as they did more than a half a century ago. Based in New York City, Mr. Taylor will be sending out his two companies with pieces drawn from a repertory that now runs to more than 130 dances and covers an astonishing range of subjects, sometimes pure romance, and sometimes explorations of the thorniest issues facing humankind today. Michael Trisnovek has been a member of the Paul Taylor Dance Company for more than a dozen years, and is particularly drawn to the humanity and emotional range of Paul Taylor's dances.
They speak to the human emotions, like everyday sorrow, joy. Every sort of emotion is played out on the stage, and so people can easily relate to it and are drawn to it. Granted, it's done a completely different way than they would normally see. Maybe they've seen theater or they listen to music, and those same emotions are coming out. Dance are just seeing it physicalized in a different way. They're seeing relationships that they have on a daily basis. Love, hate, you name it, we get it in there.
Trisnovek says that adding to the range of feeling and understanding is the fact that each Taylor dancer and each member of the audience is an individual.
We all come from a different place. We have different backgrounds, have different life experiences they're going to affect the way we see the world and the work. And the audience is the same. They're bringing their own daily lives, just any event that may have occurred to them in their life, they bring that to the audience, and so when they see the work, they may project things on there that we've never thought of. So many times we've talked to audience members after a show, and they've asked us what we thought a dance was about. We may share that, and then they'll share their ideas and just how remarkably different they can be and insightful, just because what they're bringing as an audience member to the moment is individual. It's a live dance, and so every time we do it, it's going to be different, and every time somebody sees it, they may see something different. You can see a dance 3 and 4 times, and every time catch something a little bit different, maybe based on the morning you've had, or something that's occurred. You've had a death in the family, so you bring that with you. You see this performance, and it affects the way you see the dance, which is great. I mean, that's a great thing.
That was dancer Michael Trisnovek, who will be touring the Mid-Atlantic states this season with the Paul Taylor Dance Company. Jamie Ray Walker joined the Taylor II Ensemble in 2003 and became a member of the Paul Taylor Dance Company some 5 years later. But she began her professional career a decade before all that with a classical ballet company that included Taylor dances in its repertoire. She found them irresistible.
I joined the Miami City Ballet the exact same day that I graduated high school. And in that company, we did, aside from doing so much of George Balanchine's work, we did some of Paul Taylor's repertory. And slowly but surely, I was just falling madly in love with it. And I couldn't imagine doing any other work. I was so completely satisfied every single time I would rehearse something. It gave me a different feeling than any other kind of dance that I had been doing. And as much as I felt connected to the Balanchine dances, there was something that was similarly natural about the movement for my body that I also found in Mr. Taylor's work. There was something that made sense to me in the same way, and they were possibly two of the most human ways of choreographing that I've experienced in my life, and I was growing very attached to Mr. Taylor's work. And after being in Miami City Ballet for almost 7 years, the schedule that was posted for the following season had not mentioned doing any of Mr. Taylor's work, and I actually felt quite heartbroken over that, and that was the light bulb moment that made me realize that I simply did not care to go on with the company if that was not going to be there. It was something that would be missing for me very much, and I thought that it was that time that I must have to move on and pursue as much as I possibly could of the work.
That was Jamie Ray Walker, who danced with the 6-member Taylor II Ensemble for nearly 5 years before moving on to the Paul Taylor Dance Company 3 years ago. With the main company, she'll be one of 16 dancers touring the Mid-Atlantic states this season. Paul Taylor collaborates with his dancers as he creates a piece, and it's something that stimulates the performers and helps keep them committed to their joint effort. Robert Kleinendorst, who has been a Taylor dancer for 13 years, describes how it works.
He likes to give you a background, a starting background, but if I can fill that out and have some place that informs me why this is happening or why this character behaves this way, not only do I like to work that way, but he really likes to know that I'm doing that, especially if we, every once in a while we'll differ on something. I'll have an idea that maybe he's not real keen on or vice versa, and that's the great thing about working with Paul, especially with the character role, is that he's really into collaborating with the person who is performing. And, he'll say, oh, I don't know if he'd do that. And I said, well, I really think, and then he'll say, oh, okay. And, he'll think about it. As long as he knows you're thinking about it and making informed decisions, he'll really go with it. Because he's also, at this point in his choreographic career, probably the entire history of his choreography, he really likes playing off of people and going somewhere and taking where you go with that, whether it be by accident, which is quite often, or on purpose, and then he'll take that the next step further, or maybe in a different direction than he intended, and really enjoy it. And I think he really likes working that way. And I think that's why he hires people that he can see have a strong personality at auditions and that sort of thing, that someone who's not just going to listen and do exactly what he says at all times, instead of giving him something back that he can play off of as well.
We heard from Robert Kleinendorst, a member of the Paul Taylor Dance Company, which will be crisscrossing the Mid-Atlantic states along with the Taylor 2 Ensemble in a performance tour funded through the Arts Connect program of the Mid-Atlantic Arts Foundation and supported by the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. For the Foundation and the Council, I'm Peter Wynn.
The Paul Taylor Dance Company performs 3 works October 13, 2011 at Penn State's Eisenhower Auditorium. The program features Paul Taylor's newest creation, The Uncommitted, in the first performance after its world premiere. Paul Taylor is scheduled to visit Penn State to receive the Institute for the Arts and Humanities Medal for Distinguished Achievement. The medal ceremony takes place before the performance. Purchase tickets for the dance company performance online at www.cpa.psu.edu or by phone at 1-800-ARTS-TIX.